Now, this award on the Game Awards themselves, that was a really good performance and presentation put on by Geoff Keighley. My condolences to the loss of your father. I know that it was a really hard thing to do but putting on that show, but you put on a very good show, and I want to commend you for that. Now, on to the trailer. I just wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on this. We've all seen the trailer right here. I've got it playing in the background as I'm speaking. But before I do get my thoughts, do make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. All that stuff really helps me out. Now, overall, my impressions of the trailer is that I think it's kind of corny and campy, and maybe that might be the vibe that they're going with. I know a lot of people actually like this trailer. They're impressed by what they have seen. Me personally, it hasn't grabbed me or anything like that, but what I will say is I do like the character portrayals. They are pretty accurate to what they appear in the video game, and that might be all that's needed to really impress a lot of people to go in there and see it on day one. We don't know what's going to be in there story-wise or anything like that. Obviously, it's following the Street Fighter 2 because M. Bison's off in there, and he's a very bad guy in Street Fighter 2. He's a very bad guy throughout the entire series. We got the breaking of the car right there. We got the breaking of the car right there and whatnot, which is actually very pivotal in the original game itself, the Street Fighter 2. You gotta go in there and break cars, break barrels, and all that. I wonder if they're gonna have the breaking of barrels in this movie like they have the car right there. But I digress on that point. The color palette doesn't sit right with me. They got a lot of purples and a lot of flat browns and everything like that. But you know, we'll see. We got other scenes off in there. We got an outside scene right there with Chun-Li in some action. We got a wrestling ring right there where it looks like Ken was fighting, or was that Joe fighting E Honda? So there's a lot of things right there that is very impressive. Let's go ahead and take a look at the character portrayals. But before I actually do mention that, another reason why I'm find it kind of corny and campy is that I was hoping that there'd be a more serious portrayal of the Street Fighter series. I'm not saying that it has to be all serious. There could obviously be some comedic elements in there and whatnot. This seems it's going to be leaning more into the campy, corny nature of the series, whereas I was thinking that there's a really rich story that is being told across all the Street Fighters. Street Fighter obviously is just looking at the adventures of Ken and Ryu as they're going in and they're testing their strength across a variety of fighters. Street Fighter 2, we got this strange tournament that's being put on across the world, organized by the Shadow Empire, which is run by M. Bison. Street Fighter 3, Ken and Ryu are much older, and even Ken takes on a student by the name of Sean. He's a Brazilian type fighter that has his own style of Shotokan karate. So there's a really rich story that can be told here, and I was hoping that they would do that, but you know, they're leaning more into the campy side of all this and all that. So that may be a winner in of itself, but I was hoping for something a little more, but time will only tell what the overall story is going to be. Movie's always going to be debuting in October 2026. Let's go ahead and take a look at these characters right now. Let me go over here. And so this is the first portrayal of Ryu by Andrew Koji, and that look is down pat. That is absolutely a great look for Ryu right there. He got the look down. He's got the eyes, the thick eyelashes, the hair over the bandana, the red bandana. The outfit looks really good. This might be the best portrayal in the entire of the entire cast. We got Ken right here, played by Noah Centineo. It looks okay. It looks pretty good. I wish it was more of a front look on that for him, but it does have the right look for the gi as well with Ryu. They both have the torn off sleeves, and you know, it's got this really nice red palette. So this is an okay portrayal right there. Then we got Chun-Li, played by Kalena Lang. Looks really good. She's got thick thighs, and thick thighs save lives. You know what I'm saying? Got Cody Rhodes as Guile. Not too keen on the hair, but as the look of a broad-jawed, very fit Navy veteran, Air Force veteran. He's got that down pat. I like that look right there. This is one I'm not too keen on. The Vega being played by Orville Peck. I wish they would have shown more of his arms. I'm not too keen on this purplish gaudy look right here for his outfit. but he does have the three-pronged nails, and as well as his face covered up. I think it could be a little better and all that. So it's okay, but it could be much better. Then we got 50 Cent as Balrog. Now he was one of the cast members that did not show up at the Game Awards with the other cast members. He's out there promoting his documentary, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, which, by the way, if you haven't seen my review on that, please go check that out, as well as the documentary itself, because it's a really good documentary. But going back to this right here, got the hairstyle right, got the look right. It actually really doesn't look like 50 Cent. I think they probably did some additional work to make him look a little more like Balrog. But it's okay overall. Really good look for the character. And then we got Jason Momoa as Blanca. This is absolutely phenomenal. Now I'm thinking that they might have just taken his face and put it on a CG model of Blanca. If they didn't do that, this is actually a costume that he's walking in, and man, even more kudos to him, because this is actually a really good look for Blanca. Then we got Dalsim, played by Vidya Jamwal, and this is a pretty good portrayal. Looks really good. These should actually be skulls, not this little thing right here. I don't even know what this is, but yeah, this actually should be skulls right there. Overall, but other than that, the look is pretty good. This is a good portrayal for Zangief. I like this. Zangief being played by Olivier Richters. This dude is about 6'8" and 6'9" in real life. He was on Reacher. He played a villain to Alan Rickson's Jack Reacher. Alan Rickson is pretty big himself, but this guy made him look even small. So this is a really good portrayal for Zangief. E Honda, that's fine. It's fine. Played by Hiroki Goto. I mean, what more can you expect from E Honda other than this? He doesn't have his kabuki paint on his face, but that's fine. He still has the part down. And then we got David Dastmalchian as M. Bison. Most people agree that this is not a really good look for M. Bison. I think M. Bison actually should be a lot bigger. It would be really cool if Bola Young was actually born in this day and age, because I think Bola Young would make a pretty good M. Bison. He plays a really good villain, but I do like the cap and I do like the cape. But by the way, December 18th, you get free Hogwarts Legacy. Go grab a free copy of a really good game. But other than this, I prefer Raul Julia's. I'm impartial to his portrayal. Then we go over here to Akuma. Got Roman Reigns as Akuma. Now this is a pretty good look. Now Akuma is actually younger than Ryu and Ken, but obviously Roman Reigns is probably much closer to age to the actors portraying Ryu and Ken in this movie. I wish they would have given him a more of a darker reddish hair for this look and made him look a little more older. But overall, this is still a pretty good portrayal of what of Akuma. Now, if you didn't know, Akuma is actually he has a pretty good interesting backstory as to how he got into the game. Way back in the day when Street Fighter 2 was still the hot thing around in arcades everywhere, there was an April Fool's joke. I think it was put out by excuse me. I think it was put out by Electronic Gaming Monthly that put out this joke, April Fool's joke, where they said that if you actually get so many perfects in a row, this strange character would come out and throw out your opponent and he would take over. They had screenshots and everything. It looked excellent. The April Fool's joke was so great that Capcom decided to go in there and create an actual character. And I think the character's name was originally Goki. Then Akuma was created. He made his debut in Super Street Fighter 2. And then they came back and made the actual character, Goki, a character in Street Fighter 4. So it's pretty interesting right there. Some interesting, really, backstory about this character and about Street Fighter in general. Then we got Dan Hibiki, who's being played by Andrew Schultz. Dan Hibiki is he is a joke character, but he is an original creation. He does the same type of karate as Ken and Ryu, but he's more comedic in his style. Don't know if Andrew Schultz has actual fighting prowess, but at least the look is there. The look is right there. Then we have Don Savage being played by Eric Andre, and he's an announcer. If you remember on the stage for Zangief, There's this guy that's got this bullhorn. I think that's probably who he is. Cammy, this is an interesting inclusion, being played by Mel Gibson. The reason why it's interesting is because nowhere in this trailer did we see Sagat. In fact, there was no actor that came up on stage that's going to be playing Sagat. I wonder if Sagat's going to be in here. In addition, Cammy didn't come into Street Fighter 2 until Super Street Fighter 2, and along with Cammy, there were three other characters: T-Hawk, DJ, and Fei Long, and they're not in their movie either. But they did decide to go ahead and keep Cammy. Not that I'm complaining or anything like that, but just saying that it's kind of interesting that those other characters are not included. Then we got the original creation of Julie. I don't remember her being in any other Street Fighter games. I think she's an original creation to this television show, so she's being played by Arena Volongdagum. And I originally thought that she might be Jury, but then Jury is Korean, and she's definitely not Korean. And in today's day and age, they're trying to do race accurate casting for these roles. And then I look at this stick right here and her outfit. I was thinking that she might also be Falky, but she's not Falky. Falky is in Street Fighter 5. I wonder if she has the same type of psychic powers as Falky and everything like that, because Falky uses the exact type of stick and has the exact type of getup right there. And then lastly, we got Geoff, played by Alexander Volkanovsky. Now, if you're not familiar with that guy's name, Alexander Volkanovsky is an actual fighter. He fights in the UFC. He was the featherweight champion. So he's a legit fighter. He is a legit fighter and everything like that. But it's also another interesting that they're including Joe, because Joe is from Street Fighter 1. He's not from, and I don't think he's ever been seen since. So it's kind of interesting that they're putting him off in there, but we haven't seen Sagat, Fei Long, DJ, or T-Hawk. So that's interesting right there. Overall, I thought the trailer was okay. I thought it was fine. Like I said, I think it's pretty corny. I think the trailer is pretty corny and everything like that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad movie, and it obviously has a lot of fan service. A lot of people saw this and said, this is it for me. I'm going to go ahead and watch this on day one. So shout out to everybody that is looking at this and is excited for it. I'm still cautiously optimistic about it, but like I said, I'm definitely still going to go ahead and check this movie out in October 2026. So can't wait to go ahead and see that. Mortal Kombat's also coming out next year, so that's going to be interesting as well. I think there's another video game, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is going to be coming out next year. So gamers are getting fed with these movie adaptations in 2026. What is your thoughts on all of this? Jump down in the comments and let me know what you guys think, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. All that stuff really does help me out. And remember, this is Chris Bolt signing off, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy.